What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, and we got ourselves a treat today. The Action Figure Authority, AFA, just dropped off this box with a massive ding in it, by the way. That scares me. But this is a shipment of 13, I believe, action figures. And for those of you who are new to the channel, these are the figures from my very first video. There are some vintage G.I. Joes, some modern G.I. Joes, and a couple of modern Star Wars in here. And in that video, we guessed the grade of them. So we're going to take a look and see how close I was on the grades. And hopefully we'll get some good surprises. I bet we'll get some negative surprises too. But there's a lot of cool figures in here. I am not going to be going into detail on all of these figures. I'll do separate videos for them. Just so we can talk about them in more detail, but otherwise this video will be like 45 minutes long, and most people's attention span these days is like 35 seconds, so this video is going to be way longer than you probably want anyway. So anyway, this did just arrive from AFA. I'm very excited to get it opened. We'll take a look, basically there's a lot of packing peanuts in here, and they wrap all the figures in one big bundle. So let's take a look. I guess what I'm going to do is unbox it off camera. I don't want to see the grades though. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my wife open them up out of the plastic bubble and stack them up for us. And then you and I will learn the grades together and we'll compare them to my estimates that we had. So bear with me one second while I get these opened, and we'll take a closer look and see what kind of scores we got. And we are back. My wonderful wife has stacked these up. I have no idea what the order is. I have no idea what the grades are yet. But as I see what the figures are, I'm going to tell you what the estimate was that I had for them, and then we'll compare it to what the actual scores were. Hopefully, I'll be close to correct on some of them. So let's just start at the top and go from there. Let's see, what is up top? This has got to be, yeah, this is the, all right, I'm kind of tilting it up so I don't see the score. But this is the Destroyer Droid, Episode 1. I'm sorry about the glare, I'm trying to prevent myself from seeing the score. But this is the Destroyer Droid. This was a Kenner Standard, if I remember right. Yeah, Kenner Standard quality assurance test. So it's got the QA Kenner Standard thing on the back. And, you know, it's from Episode 1. Very cool figure. I think I guessed an 80 for the score on this one. So let's take a look and see what we got. We got an 80 plus, so I was pretty close. And so we'll just, I think what I'll do is I'll just show you the stickers, and then we'll do detailed videos on these a little bit later. But this is the 1999 Hasbro Star Wars Episode 1 Destroyer Droid Kenner Standard tag, 80 plus. So we got a card 80, bubble 85, figure 90, so it came back as an 80 plus. Almost an 85, but I did guess an 80, so I was pretty close. All right, so that's one. Next. Oh boy, we got Thrawn. This is from the Expanded Universe. I have a couple of Throns, as you saw in the background of a few of my videos, and I saw this one and I decided to go ahead and get it. But this is a cool Thron, Expanded Universe. I think I did guess an 80 or an 85 on this one, so let's take a look and see what we got. Oh, I think I might have done modern scoring for this one. I can't remember. So 8 or 8.5, I think is what I guessed. So let's see what we got. 9.0. All right, that's a good score. This is a 1998 Kenner Star Wars Expanded Universe Grand Admiral Thron, 9.0. So that's a really good score. That's much higher than I thought it was going to be. And these are not expensive figures, but very cool figure. All right, that's another one. Next, oh boy, this is probably the most expensive figure out of all the ones in this batch. But this is the Takara 1986 Zartan. Very expensive figure. Well, not very expensive, but you know, for a G.I. Joe, this is pretty expensive. And it's unpunched. I guess an 85 grade for this, near mint plus, because it just looked flawless to me. And I hope that's what it got. I'll be really disappointed if it's not. But I have a huge Takara collection, as some of you all know, and this was one of the ones I was really needing to get. And so let's see what we got. 85. Near mint plus. All right, so I was right. Let's see, the card. Let's see if we can get it focused here. Card got an 85, bubble 85, figure 90. Wow, so that's a really, really nice one. I knew this was going to get an awesome score. I mean, it was an auction format, and there was like 35 bids. So I'm very happy to have that one. That's about as good as a score as you're going to get for a vintage G.I. Joe. So awesome, very happy about that score. I was worried about that one the most. Okay, next, it looks like we got Vipera. This is a figure subscription service figure. I do remember that the seller did not disclose a few defects on the card. I did get this one for modern grading because it's just a modern figure. I think I estimated it would be an 8 or an 8.5. So let's see what we got. 8.5, so I was right. G.I. Joe 20, looks like, what was that, 2015 G.I. Joe Club exclusive Vipera, 8.5. So that's about what I expected. Yeah, there was a couple of defects on the card that he did not disclose, but nevertheless, it's still a good score. It's still a near mint score, and you know, it's average for a modern figure, but I love that figure so much. It's just one of the coolest figures. This is a remake of a vintage figure. All right, so that's that one. Next, we got the Night Stalker Commander. This is also a figure subscription service, so I did do modern grading for this one. I guessed an 8 or an 8.5 for this one because it did have some creases that the seller did not disclose as well. And we got an 8.5, Night Stalker Commander. So that's about right. You know, I expected to get about that, but really cool figure. For some reason, I just love the female G.I. Joe figures. So far, I've been right on the money. Let's see if we get any more here. Chaos. This is a Dreadnought that was just made up, I think. It's a fairly new figure. Dreadnought Salvage Crew. I just love the way he looked, and it sold out very quickly. I was very happy to have gotten him when I did. I got this from Big Bad Toy Store as an exclusive. And I did get the collector upgrade version, so I would assume I at least get a 9.0 on this one. Let's see what we got. 9.25. Very good. I'm very excited about that score. G.I. Joe Club exclusive Dreadnought Chaos. That's a really good score for me. I'm really happy about that. And that's further proof to me, guys, that, you know, getting these collector grade, quote-unquote collector grade figures from Big Bad Toy Store is the way to go to get good scores. It was only $2 more, and it was actually cheaper than buying it on eBay. The ones on eBay were going for $20 or $30 more. All right, so that's a good score. Next, we got Cobra Arctic... sorry, I'm trying to do this without seeing the score. Cobra Arctic Transport Officer. So this is the Ice Viper Officer. This is a remake of the Wolf Driver from the vintage line. And I did buy this one on eBay. I paid a lot for it. So I was hoping for a 9.0. So let's see what we got. Ice Viper Officer, 9.0. All right on the money. So far, I have literally gotten every single one of them right. So that's pretty amazing, actually. Next, I think this is Dragon Sky. This is a figure subscription service figure. I just love the way he looked. And, you know, a lot of these figure subscription service figures I buy just based on looks. And this is one that's really cool. I remember this one having a crease or a long scratch on the back of the card, and I said 8.5 would be the best I could get on this one. And we did. We got an 8.5, Dragon Sky. So I'm not surprised by that. There was a long scratch on the back of the card that was not disclosed. Again, another problem with buying on eBay. You can do all the homework you want, but if you got a seller that's not giving you the correct information, it's really tough. All right, next, this is a vintage figure. This is the vintage Frag Viper. And, as I told you in a lot of my videos, I'm trying to collect all the vintage... G.I. Joe Vipers, and this is another one. This is the Frag Viper. I believe this came out in 1988 or 1988 or 89. He's a grenade thrower. He's got that ridiculous kind of thing on his hand. I guessed an 80 for this one, so let's see what we got. 80, right on the money. And this was let's see if we can get it to focus a little better here. 1989 Hasbro G.I. Joe, so it was 89, Frag Viper. Card got an 80, bubble 80, figure 85, and I got the archival for the G.I. Joes. So these come in the protective wrappers, as you see, the poly bags. So that's why it's a little cloudy. Like I said, I'll do proper videos on all of these as I find time. So it's a little bit cloudy, but all right. Next, we got the Techno Viper. I think I guessed an 80 on this one, but the Techno Viper is one of my favorites. Really cool figure. It had a couple of creases on the card. So let's see what we got. We did get an 80. Okay, card got an 80, bubble got an 80, figure got an 85. Very happy with that score, though. It's still a near mint score for a vintage figure, and, one of my favorites. Very cool figure. All right, let's see what we got next. Next, we got... Oh, this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Kim Arashikaji, also known as Jinx. Jinx was a vintage figure. She had like a red ninja outfit, but they San Diego Comic-Con released her in the red Ninja outfit as well as a white one. I've got the red one. I believe it's a 9.25. And so this is the white outfit. I did buy this one on eBay. It was never removed from the clamshell. So I think it should get an uncirculated grade, and I was hoping for a 9.0. So let's see what we got. Wow, I got a 9.5 on this one, uncirculated. Wow, that is a really, really high score. I'm very, very pleased about that. It is very difficult to get a 9.5 on anything, even modern figures. And to have an uncirculated 9.5, that is worth some money. And not that I collect for money, don't get me wrong, but it's just, you know, it justifies the amount of money I paid for it, I should say. I mean, I paid a lot of money for it because it looked like it was in mint condition. The seller assured me it was in mint condition, and it was. He was right. So I was very happy about that. And, you know, this is another example of a seller telling me what it was, and he was right, and giving me lots of angles on the product. But it was still in the clamshell, so I took a little bit of a risk. You know, to get the uncirculated grade on these, you still have to submit it in the clamshell, never removed. So I took a little bit of a risk, but he said it was in mint condition, and he was right. And I paid quite a bit more than market for it. But pretty awesome figure. 9.5. Wow, that's a great score. Okay. Let's see what we got next. Next, we got the Night Creeper. This is a vintage figure, vintage G.I. Joe. I remember buying this. I was down in Florida at the time. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't sleep. And some guy who does not deal with vintage toys listed this for really cheap. I mean, super cheap. I think he had it listed for like $30. I can't remember the exact number. It was not very much. And it looked mint, and I was like, let's do it. Who cares? It's $30. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, $30 is, you know, it can be a lot of money. You know, that pays for a lot of bills and things, but I couldn't pass it up, you know. So I think I estimated I would get an 85 on this. I hope I do, but really cool figure. Comes with a command ring. Let's see. We did get an 85. Awesome. So Night Creeper, 1990, Hasbro. Card 85, bubble 85, figure 85, straight 85s, near mint plus. Yeah, so I had a feeling it was going to get a really good score. It just looked to be in awesome condition, and the seller way, way underpriced it because he just didn't, you know, who knows, but you know, he didn't deal with vintage toys, so he underpriced that one. So there are still some deals to be had. Let's see. Next, this is the final one, the Heat Viper. Very cool figure, one of my favorites growing up, towards the end of the run, but basically, the HEAT stands for High Explosive Anti-Tank Viper. So basically, they're a Cobra bazooka man, and they got all kinds of weird missiles and stuff that go around the ankles, as you can see in the card work. I thought we'd get an 80 on this one. So let's see what we get. Wow, I cannot believe it. We got an 85 on this. That is crazy. I did not expect to get an 85 on this. I mean, to get an 85, you know, based on buying something on eBay, is really tough to do, and I'm super pleased about that. Card got an 85, Bubble got an 80, figure got an 85. So that came back way higher than I thought it would, but very pleased with that score. You know, I didn't pay a ton for this one either. I paid way below market on this, but really cool. But that's all we got for you. You know, I just thought you guys like to see the latest batch from AFA, and very cool figures. I got 13 of them total. We'll do a more proper you know, kind of review of all these figures over time, but I just thought you'd like to take a look and see what came back today. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.